This is the Climate Story Project, where we share real stories about how climate change is shaping our lives. Stories that connect us, stories that move us to act. This is a project of the New York Climate Exchange, a nonprofit organization that's accelerating climate solutions through our unique partnership model and climate campus on Governor's Island. In each episode, you'll hear voices from different places and walks of life in our growing archive of personal climate stories, so that we can remember, reflect, and respond together. This Climate Week NYC, we invited the public to tell us their climate story. Here's what they had to say.
The whole world just evolves and exists because of nature.
My view and protection of nature are just really, I'm taking care to still see the beauty.
I think I've always cared about the climate.
A love of nature.
My family is very nature inclined.
Coral reefs on this planet are the singularly most beautiful thing that has ever existed on the face of this earth.
I love being so close to the water.
The beauty and the embrace of these wild spaces.
Thinking about us as beings and all the other beings that we share the planet with.
I would say that's what really got me interested in climate work to begin with, is just being curious about the environment and wanting to help protect that for other people and other generations.
We live in a moment where it feels that more and more people are conscious about the climate crisis. They're suffering it in their body, in their health, and in their livelihoods.
I've been seeing how climate could impact all kinds of societies.
Increasingly, our summers are hotter, our heat waves are more frequent, and they're longer in duration.
Even in my hometown of London, where, we're not known for hot weather.
People who are not well adjusted to heat, they get very temperamental. They'll get really angry all of a sudden. They're really overheating and their bodies are not adapting well.
We can't go to anywhere in Brazil without have air conditioner or have at least a fan.
I live in Ahmedabad, which is kind of more of a dry and hot city. Summers are a lot hotter than they used to be, and the monsoon season is longer.
I mean, I have friends who left Southeast Asia because their kids can't play outside. It's just so hot. The air quality is atrocious. The season that's most pleasant to be outdoors is also the season where the air quality is the worst.
I've lived in the middle of the woods in Central Jersey, and then I moved to Jersey City, and I developed asthma. It's one of the top cities in the country for its residents to have bronchial issues due to the environment.
The biggest way that we're seeing climate change roll out is in water events.
I was a senior in high school when Hurricane Sandy hit, and seeing businesses and areas of the coastline that have still, all these years later, have never recovered.
It was the most destructive thing I've ever seen, and also such a beautiful ode to the power of nature and how it'll take everything.
I left New York in large part because my apartment flooded 2 times in 2 weeks from 2 separate hurricanes. And then we moved to LA, and we were really close to the Eaton fire just this past January. And my wife was 3 months pregnant. And so we were like, oh my gosh, we got to get it. We don't trust the water. We don't trust the air.
Countries like the Philippines, water accessibility is challenging.
There's just so much pollution and all of the waterways around Iowa. It's becoming increasingly an issue in Nebraska. I know that we have family members and other people in our communities who are getting sick.
The water temperature itself has been rising. Why is it so much warmer? And is it going to get even warmer?
AI might be a great invention, but if everybody can upload on Snapchat a 5-minute video and it's going to be stored somewhere in some data center that is going to be needing energy to cool that data center, we need to be more responsible.
There's just a lot of barriers at the moment to scaling and getting a lot of other people on board, the people that have all the power and the money.
There is this larger entity of those in power that keep solution from coming forward.
And we'll be seeing more negative health patterns in the years to come. People will have to realize everything is connected. Environment, mental health, family planning, infrastructure, everything.
I don't think people think about the fact that their action today affects the mosquito population, which in turn affects like how quickly we can eliminate malaria, which in turn affects our general health and the health of travelers and the health of people who move. And there's just so much interconnectedness, and I think we could celebrate that rather than be nervous about it.
The crisis of climate anxiety that we have, not just in youth, but throughout our entire society. People are feeling hopeless and isolated.
It's a grief or loss of a future that we don't get to have.
I mean, that is the reason I'm in therapy right now. Like, I feel like I'm just a balloon filled with tears, like a water balloon of tears.
By acting, we don't feel anxious, we feel part of something. And that's the story I'm trying to tell my children.
I think just the constant practice of doing helps you not be overwhelmed.
How can we transform these needs, this suffering, this vulnerability into action, into political change?
The solutions for climate change and environmental responsibility needs innovation.
We do actually have actionable things that we could do that could make the city cooler. Why don't we have a bigger budget for street trees or shade structures?
I would love kids to be able to have access to green space for trees, get through the hot summers.
Green spaces average like 5 degrees cooler than other places. So I just try to get as close to the water, ride the ferry, not the subway, and find your cooling center, whether it's the library or CVS.
I think if we can tap into that love that people have for this little corner of the planet, I think we'll all be better off, protecting those places for each other.
I hug trees. So I go to Central Park, I hug trees. I walk my dog and I'll stop. I will touch the bark. You can just touch a tree and feel the energy.
If we do small changes and create a space for nature to regenerate itself, it can happen.
I educate my son and peers close to me.
I think the most profoundly positive thing I've seen is the youth working with elders, working with community organizations at a very local level to make real impacts.
There's a movement of people that are self-organizing, that are gathering around the world to really put pressure on politicians, to really find solutions, to drive change.
Focusing on one wound and one Band-Aid lets you kind of really hone in and make a pretty damn good Band-Aid. And then I think in the process, you just meet more people that are making Band-Aids.
The more people we bring into the fold, the more we make people see themselves within this movement, combats this loneliness, this fear, this anxiety, because we're stronger together.
I'm really interested in the idea of climate change crisis being a metaphor for how do we help each other more and how do we create systems of sharing and of cultural connection.
Our experience of climate change isn't happening to us in a void, right? It's happening to us in the places we live, in the communities that we live in.
So I think the more we bond and the more we stick together, the more we find solutions on a neighborhood level, on a community level, I think the safer we will all be.
Bring community members together.
Community.
Community.
Community. Community.
Community. Bring communities together.
It's not what if we get it right, it's we will get it right. It's just a question of time and a question of shifting our mindset.
Gotta protect the mama, gotta protect the climate. We have to honor her, protect her, save her. It's the only way we can live.
The voices that made this story are Susan Beischel, Sarah Carey, Topher Dean, Brad Einstein, Gabriel Florenz, Diane Gonzalez, Chris Guillot, Helene Hetrick, Kristin Kagetsu, David Levai, David Ohana, Anna Ravenscroft, Dennis Ramdahin, Kara Schitling, Jui Shah, Alenka Slavinec, Christina Torres, Lucas Veloso, Cassondra Warney, and Faye Yuan. This story is part of the Climate Story Project. To find more stories and learn more about the New York Climate Exchange, visit nyclimateexchange.org and follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. This episode was produced by Kylie Miller. Thanks for listening.